Hi, welcome back. I'm Mindy. I am a registered nurse and I work in aesthetic medicine. So today's video is just going to be real simple, real quick. I just wanted to go over 6 things, and it's going to be how to get started in the aesthetic field and some helpful tips. I know there's a bunch of videos out there. Some of them are older, some of them are jam-packed with a bunch of information. So obviously you can go and look at all of those to get that type of information, but I find that these 6 were or are very, very helpful. So let's start with number 1. And if y'all see me look over here, it's because I'm like looking at my notes. The number 1 thing is you need to make sure that when you're getting started in this field, you are in the medical field. So whether you're a doctor, MD, your dentist can do it out here in Colorado, a PA, like a physician associate, nurse practitioner, or like me, I'm a registered nurse with my BSN. Being in the medical field, first and foremost, I know there's a little bit of controversy with this because in states like Colorado and Texas, their laws are a little bit more lenient. So if you hear the word medical esthetician, sometimes they're considered medical and they can inject out here as well under the supervision of a licensed medical director. Number 2 is you need to get very, very familiar with facial anatomy. So get really good with your A&P. If you're like, damn, I forgot a lot of stuff or I need a refresher, there are refresher courses. I'm sure you can take some at a community college or something like that. There are a bunch of courses online, free videos on YouTube. Just get really good knowing your anatomical structures in the face. What's really important is blood vessels. So know your major arteries and veins, things of that sort. And then also anything that has to do with like the head, face, and neck area, because that's what you're going to be dealing with mostly for aesthetics or cosmetic injectables and treatments like that. So just really, really get good at that and do a lot of self-studying. That's what really helped me to get into the aesthetics field as well. Also, the other things to know that's important besides like the blood vessels is like ligaments, fat pads, the different planes of the face and skin. And then that's 2. So number 3 is I want you to know what your why is. So know, why are you doing this? Are you passionate? Have you always been artistic? Do you have an eye for detail? If not, if you're just someone that just thinks it's cool, like you just want to do it, it makes a lot of money, it's lucrative, stuff like that, I don't think that this is going to be for you, because you're going to find out real quick that it is hard. It might annoy you and all of that, and then you might be just on to the next thing. So just know that, like, know your why and why are you coming into the aesthetic field and what are you going to bring to the table. And then number 4 is finding your niche. So what do you want to be like good at? Or are you the type of person you're just going to be a jack of all trades? You want to learn it all. So if it's going to be like bioregenerative medicine, like that part of it, or are you really into like fillers and Botox? Like some people just do Botox and they just want to get really good at that and they don't want to do anything else. Some people love just doing fillers and then doing a little bit of Botox. And some people love doing like, you know, those lifting threads, and that's their specialty. That's like all they really do. Just see what your niche is, what you really want to get good at, and then like put your heart and soul into it, and then you will connect with the right people. Another thing I wanted to go over is number 5 is working on your hand dexterity. So I want you to get really good at holding a needle and a syringe like in your hand. So practice makes perfect, right? And it's all muscle memory. So if you can get, so a long time ago, because I've been doing this now for, I don't know, ever since 2020, but back then, this is what I could get, right? So this is a silicone head. They have better ones now that are a lot softer and all of that, but this is a silicone head that you normally use for like brow tattooing and for like lash extensions. But I used it so I could draw on it. I would draw like the arteries and practice on here. I would draw like Botox patterns. I would actually inject in here so that way I could practice my depth, because depth is so important in the aesthetics field. So if you could find something like this, I think there's an even better version that's out now if you look on Amazon. And then even if like you're like, oh, I don't work like in the medical field, so how am I supposed to get like these needles and syringes and stuff? You can even buy those BD syringes on Amazon. I can link it down below to practice with. And instead of like Botox, like you can't get Botox obviously, and you wouldn't waste it on this. You can just drop like water, or you can buy normal saline, or just like, I think water is going to be the easiest and cheapest, just to kind of mimic what like Botox would feel like. If you're doing it with like fillers and stuff, you can, I don't know, go get hair gel or something to mimic what some of the fillers kind of like feel like and all of that, if you can. To just kind of like practice that, just practice things to help with your hand dexterity and work on that. Trust me. When I first started, the first course that I ever did, a good tip that one of the nurses had said was she used to practice on her husband. So you could use like a little cutie orange, and then she would like put it here and then practice like she's injecting. And that could kind of mimic like a tougher skin and all of that. So that's a good way to practice as well. I also thought this would be funny, but like if you had that doctor operation game, something like that, because you have to be very precise with your fingers and all of that, but just something to practice, to getting used to. So that's 5. And then 6 is the last tip I have out there. So work on yourself. I want you to work on yourself and your self-confidence and your self-esteem, because why else or how else would you promote that in someone? So they come into you, and if you're not really confident and you're like that's going to already throw off the patient or your client or whatever, right? So making sure that you're working on yourself and your self-confidence, so that way you can help bring that out of someone. So you can help boost their self-confidence when they're in your chair, because the reason why they're there is to help make them look and feel better. Okay. And just don't be cocky about it. I don't want you to be cocky like a know-it-all. I want you to still just present yourself in a professional way and just more confidently. So those are my 6 tips on starting in aesthetics, and those little tidbits. I'll make some more videos and throw them out here on my YouTube channel, but I'm going to be focusing on all things that are like going on in my life and things that have helped me. So if you're interested and you want to know other things, drop them down below. As these ideas come up, I'm going to try to post a video once a week on my YouTube related to all of that, okay? But thank you for staying tuned and staying with me. Subscribe if you can, like this video, share it around if it helped. Okay, thank you. Have a great day, y'all.